This is the Hickory Hound podcast, and these are the news and views for the week ending March 29th, 2025. This week, the Hickory Hound laid the foundation for a revitalized mission and a smarter path forward. Tuesday's post reestablished our objectives: economic equity, smarter planning, honest government, and regional collaboration. On Thursday, we dug into the 2014 bonds impact, showing how Trivium sparked jobs, but the real future lies in biotech and other modern energy industries. Our middle-class workforce is ready. We just need to be bold enough to pivot from symbolic wins to real prosperity. The question now isn't what's been done, it's what's next and who's going to push it forward. Fringe signals. What's happening under your radar? We'll let legacy media address the murders and mayhem and be the parrots of the elite. We're going to get out in front of the news because that is what you really need to know. The news before it becomes news. That is information with value. Below, we will talk about information that is grounded, observed, and emerging. These are early signals worth watching. Signal 1. Remote workers are quietly rewiring downtown. We're not becoming Asheville, but something is happening. Remote workers from big cities are starting to trickle into Hickory. Why? Lower housing costs, stronger internet infrastructure, and fewer distractions. These laptop nomads are claiming corners of cafes as makeshift offices. Look closer. And the signal isn't just social, it's structural. Property data shows a 15% uptick in downtown small office leases since 2024. That's not a fluke, it's a signal. Hickory's long dormant downtown may be evolving into the hip hub the city once hoped for, but from the outside in and bottom up. Signal 2. E-bike culture rising along Hickory Trail. While city officials are still thinking sidewalks, the city's trail system is quietly becoming home to a new kind of rider, the e-biker. Local bike shops report a solid spike in electric bike sales, especially from folks looking for a flexible, lower-impact commute. It's not on City Hall's radar yet, but Strava data shows e-bike activity up 30% since last summer in the greater Hickory area. Local grassroots groups are already lobbying for dedicated e-bike lanes along the existing trail network. If this movement builds momentum, it could reshape the region's mobility culture faster than any top-down planning ever could. Signal 3. Corning's Tech Apprenticeships. The blue-collar digital pivot. Corning Optical's Hickory facility has always been a heavyweight in fiber optic production, but now it's evolving again. Without much fanfare, they've begun rolling out a tech apprenticeship program that could mark a major turning point for local labor. Job boards and LinkedIn postings hint at a push to train at least 50 locals in fiber splicing and 5G infrastructure roles by mid-2026. This isn't a shiny press release. It's a quiet commitment to future-proofing Hickory's workforce. It's blue-collar meets broadband, and it might be one of the smartest long plays in town. Signal 4. Urban farming underground is growing, literally. No ribbon cuttings, no glossy flyers, just people growing food wherever they can. Backyard plots, sidewalk greenhouses, hydroponic setups in garages. Local growers are making it happen, and they're selling to small restaurants and health-conscious customers under the radar. This isn't a government initiative. It's scrappy, entrepreneurial, and organic in every sense. These micro farmers are sharing harvests on Instagram, cold calling local businesses, and offering hyper-local produce that never hits the grocery store shelf. If Hickory is headed for a foodie revival, it'll be powered by these kinds of growers, not corporate chefs. Final take. These aren't headlines yet, but they're real. They're the kind of shifts that won't show up in a press conference until it's too late to claim credit. If Hickory wants to evolve, these are the threads to pull. New work habits, next-gen mobility, workforce transformation, and local food systems rising from the ground up. Watch this space. The hound is tracking the tremors. I've decided to take Hickory economic development into my own hands. Now, I say that not out of ego, but out of clarity. It's become obvious to me that while government knows how to manage government, it doesn't always understand what actually makes the private sector work. That's where I've spent my life. That's where ideas either work or they don't. So I'm stepping forward, not with press releases, but with purpose. The Hickory Hound is back. Not to stir the pot, but to stir thought and action. I'm here to track real signals. I'm talking about early shifts, things happening right now. No one really knows or even talks about. Economic changes, cultural trends, entrepreneurial sparks. This isn't going to be me talking about the latest Jerry Springer incident on television. We're here to talk about seeds that become sprouts, and sprouts that become roots. Deep, lasting, meaningful roots that shape a place over time. We aren't here to gawk at chaos or echo headlines. We're here to spot the subtle signs of real change. The kind of change that doesn't make noise, but makes a difference. That's the Hickory Hound mission. To catch the quiet and feel the first ions of the storm forming. To track the truth before it becomes obvious. To give voice to what's growing before anyone else even sees it coming. Now on my chef side, because there are layers and things that connect, I've just published my first public cookbook. It's called A Book of Seasons, a culinary compendium of flavor. It's the first in the Shell Essentials series. All of this falls under the umbrella of my company, Shell Cooperative LLC. This book is about seasoning, because seasoning is the foundation of flavor. It comes from 40 years in the sweatshop grinding. Whether you are a home cook or a pro, this book gives you tools, strategies, and recipes to cook smarter and more efficiently. You'll also learn about the origins of flavor and how food has shaped the economic and cultural development of our planet and its people. It should be live on Amazon Kindle by Monday, with the 115-page 8.5 by 11 paperback available shortly thereafter. And there's more coming. The next cookbook, Saucy, is dropping soon. After that, a summer farm-to-table guide with fresh, budget-friendly meals that work with the heat. After that, a fresh farm-to-table guide with fresh, budget-friendly meals that work with the heat, not against it. So yeah, the Hickory Hound is back. Shell Essentials is rising. I have another business that centers around people's personal legacy. This isn't just content, it's a mission. This is the creative economy, building value from the ground up, at home, in your neighborhood, inside and outside of the community. Thanks for listening. Let's keep it sharp, let's keep it smart, and let's keep it real.